What is going on, everybody? Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Xbox Live Party Podcast UK. Tonight I am joined by Ash. I'm a Ghostbuster. And I am also joined by a very special guest indeed. He is ItalianClownz. Now, this is a bit of a sentimental one for me. This is like a full circle episode because Clowns was actually one of the first people to offer me a guest spot on his podcast. And now I get to be a host and have him on as a guest. So this is a really special episode for me. This is like a full circle episode. So yeah, Clowns, thanks for joining us, buddy. Awesome to have you here.
It's a pleasure being here, man.
Yeah, it's a really special episode for me. So we've got a lot to talk about tonight, but before we get into it, let's talk about what we've been playing this week. Ash, what have we been playing this week?
I don't know. What have you been playing this week? I know I've been playing.
What have you been playing this week?
I have been going through a load of sort of games I've had in my backlog for a while. But one I've been playing this week that I've enjoyed a lot more than I care to admit is Retro Highway.
All right.
Now this is it kind of is like an endless runner, but mixed with sort of road rash. So you're on a motorbike and you're basically dodging cars and not killing yourself, collecting coins and stuff. But it's like 2D, it looks like a Mega Drive game.
Yeah.
And it's super simple, but I've played it for hours trying to like save up a load of money in it and stuff to get all the achievements. I'm quite enjoying that. Really, really fun. And I've been playing a bit more of the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. That's quite good. I'm quite enjoying that. A lot different to other Lego games, so I can't really give you a good comparison because it plays totally different. It's got some of the core mechanics, but the way it plays and it looks and stuff like that, it's a very, very different game.
Yeah.
And then I tried to start Shadow of Mordor, and I just couldn't get into it. And I don't know why. I've wanted to play it for ages.
Yeah, I love that.
And I just couldn't get into. I just don't know whether it's like it's a good game. I'm not saying the game's not bad. It just feels like everything's been put on a different key just so it's not Assassin's Creed. And I was just like, you may as well just copy the entire control scheme.
They used there was like a big controversy, wasn't there? Because like they used the animations from one of the Assassin's Creed games, and one of the guys who developed Assassin's Creed picked up on it and called them out about it. But
probably it is basically Middle Earth Assassin's Creed, and I love the story. I think it looks great. I'm just there's something not clicking with me just yet, so I'm going to go back into it and play it at some point. But they're the sort of three ones that stand out. I've also done a load of review games, which will all be coming onto the channel over the next few days. Like, honestly, there's loads of them. Loads that aren't out till later this week, so we'll be doing some sort of like early reviews on them as well. So just keep an eye out on the channel for that.
No worries. Clowns, what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
Pretty much just Assassin's Creed right now. That's been taking up all my time trying to get all the side quests done.
Nice.
And doing all the DLC. Yeah, Valhalla.
Oof, that's a grind, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a grind because sometimes I lose track.
Yeah, that's fair. I was actually meant to be buying the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC this week, but I picked up Far Cry and DLC instead, so I've been playing that. Been playing a lot of AC3, actually doing a Road to 1,000 Gamer Score stream of that regularly now, so if you want to go watch that, check it out. It's also on the channel. But yeah, hoping to get into Valhalla again next week when I pick up the DLC. The Far Cry 6 DLC is pants. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It's just boring, and I think the only redeeming quality that it has is that you get more Michael Mando as Vass, even if it is for like a snippet. It's decent, but it's just they're not very good DLCs. It's like a roguelite mode, I suppose. You have to keep throwing yourself at it, and if you die, you reset. But yeah, that's about all I've been playing this week. I haven't played Smite at all this week. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Ash, you've muted yourself. But yeah, I haven't played Smite at all this week.
I wasn't even saying that. I was just going.
All right.
As I know I was muted, but yeah, it's your first step towards beating your addiction, mate. I tell you.
Energy drinks and Smite, they're my two vices. I've kicked one. So yeah, that pretty much covers what we've been playing this week. So let's get into the topics. We've got quite a few little snippets to talk about tonight. So we've got Mafia 4 is rumoured to be in development. I believe the guy who did the first 3 games is now left. Comes off the back of that. But yeah, 4's currently in development. What do you guys think of that news?
Yeah, the head of Hangar 13's left, hasn't he? So it's rumoured to be Hangar 13 doing it again. And rumours are it's a prequel, but they're not 100% sure exactly what to. But I recently bought that Mafia collection, with 1, 2, and 3 on the Xbox. I say recently. I bought it within the last sort of year, and I played through 1. Absolutely loved 1. I've started 2, but it's one of those games that I've got that much games to play. It's sort of sat there waiting to be played again. But I've played 1 and 2 previously. I absolutely love them. I've never played 3, bar like the first mission. I think I played it either a demo or I played it for like half an hour when it first came out on the 360. But I've never actually sat and played the game properly. So I'm looking forward to that. So more Mafia is great. And if it looks as good as the 1 remake did, like the remaster remake of 1, then I'm all in for that because that was a fantastic, fantastic game.
Fair. What about you, Clowns? What do you think?
As far as the possibility of a prequel Mafia 4, I'm kind of excited about this. I'm really into Mafia 1 and 2. And there's many reasons why I really dig this series, but there's so many possibilities with Mafia 4. I just hope, and I'm going to be honest with you, I hope it's not a prequel to 3. I hope it's a prequel to 1, because if it's a prequel to 1, then what we're going to see is we are going to see basically the Mustache Pete era, the Maranzano era of the early Italian-American mafia straight from Italy and Sicily, which was known at the time as the Black Hand. And in doing so, they could incorporate a lot of the Irish-American mafia as well. So there's a lot of story there if they went that way with it, and it would just be really cool.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. So I love the Mafia 2 is always my favorite, but I do have a soft spot for 1. And you know what? 3, as much as the gameplay really got on my nerves, because I felt like it was just very much go there, kill this, go there, collect that. It's one of those kind of games. And then, but yeah, I thought the storytelling in 3 was fantastic. It was, like I said before we started the podcast, the fact that they didn't shy away from the violence and the racial injustice of that era, that's what made the game great for me. I remember finishing that game and thinking, my God, white people were a piece of shit back then. And that's what I remember taking away from that game. It was just it was one of those really strong stories. But yeah, it was just let down by repetitive gameplay for me. So I didn't really I didn't enjoy it as much as 2. 2 is amazing. If you haven't played Mafia 2, get on it because it's fantastic. But yeah, I'm excited for Mafia 4. I think it's time. I think they got some redeeming to do because 3 wasn't great gameplay wise, even if it did tell a good story. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you guys on this one. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera to work and it keeps crashing.
Oh, no,
which is not a good sign because it means it's not going to work any other time.
No worries. So yeah, just shout out to people in chat. We've got Muppet. I thought we had Thimber. Thimber's here somewhere, isn't he? Yeah, Thimber's here.
Yes, there. We've got Muppet. Is that so good we said it twice?
He is. He's like couscous. The food's so nice you say it twice. So yeah, next we've got Geoff Keighley. Was it Keighley? Geoff Keighley announces Summer Games Fest. I want to be excited for it, but I'm not. I know that sounds bad, but I'm just not. I don't like Geoff Keighley.
Do you know what though? I like his show, and I'm glad what he does. He does what he does, but it does feel like he came in as E3 and he was one of the people stabbing it in the back to sort of make sure it were dead.
Yeah.
But my problem with Geoff's show is I love him. I think they do a good job. It looks fantastic, I'm not so keen on the musical guests. I wasn't keen on Sting. I thought he was awful at the last one and some of the other ones. But it's the fact they're so full of adverts. It's like watching ITV. It's like advert, like Channel 4 or something. Adverts every 2 seconds.
He is the Channel 4 of the gaming world.
Yeah, and it's great that he puts these shows on and he gets a lot of the big people involved. Yeah. And it's close to the Xbox show, which means it's less of a wait between some big shows for news, which is great for me.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. They're charging for this as well. They've even announced that they're teaming up. Is it with Cineworld in the UK and some other countries? You can pay like £8 to go and sit in a cinema and watch Geoff Keighley furiously masturbate over Hideo Kojima for 2 hours or however long his show is. And I'm surprised he hasn't even done it in 3D as well, just so you can sort of stick out of the screen at you and tell us how much he loves Kojima and how best buds they are. I can't believe it.
You can just stay home.
Who's going to pay for it? Yeah, who's going to pay £8 to go sit in a cinema? They're going to be like too fat, like proper stereotypical. Look like that guy off of South Park's World of Warcraft episode, with a fucking wrist brace on. And they're the only two going to be in each cinema. You know it. You bloody know it. Who's going to pay that much money to go watch that? No one.
I wouldn't pay to go to the cinema to watch something I can watch online for free.
If it was free, I'd think, that's a cool idea if it was free or something. But I'm not paying to watch something that's on YouTube for no.
Yeah. I'm not excited about it. I know that sounds bad. I don't rate him very highly, especially after the award show. He did the award show, didn't he?
Yeah, he does the award show as well, which is also going to be charged.
Oh, bye, Ash. So we have lost Ash.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. No. We've lost my camera, then we lost Ash.
Oh my God, what happened there?
I have no idea. You just completely bricked out of the podcast. Which is my OBS, and I don't know how to restart my OBS without ending the stream. So this is great. This is a great show. Oh, there we go. I think we're back.
We're back. Everything's good.
We're back in the room.
I was just there, and it just
was so violent. It just boom, gone.
Gotta love technology, haven't you? Gotta love it.
So yeah, that I just think it's too close to the Xbox One for me. Because it's coming 2-3 days before, isn't it?
He's pushed that for a reason, because that's when E3's supposed to be on. So he's now because E3's not on, I will do it that week. Right. So I am getting rid of E3, and then I can say, well, I did it last year there, so fuck E3. It's just a dick move.
Is E3 gone for good though? Is it coming?
No,
back?
It's just not here this year. Next year it should be back in person. COVID, they didn't want to risk it, and rightly so.
I didn't think COVID existed anymore. Everyone seems to.
It does in America. In America, it is. I think.
Jesus. So,
I don't know what the real reason is why they canceled it. I think there's different speculation, right? One speculation is that companies have found it cheaper to be able to do their own shows,
right?
Without E3, because E3 costs a lot, and we also got PAX in the US, and then there's Gamescom in Europe, and I think in England there's another one. I forget the name of it. It's RGX or something like that.
And tickets have gone on sale today, actually, for anyone who wants London tickets. They're on sale as of today, so
we also have the Insomnia Gaming Festival as well, don't we, in Birmingham?
I know, but they don't announce anything there. It's not like a news festival. That's more about...
I want to go, Ash. I want to go. That's my
goal. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's have a XBL special at Insomnia Game Fest.
There you go. Now that's a plan. I get behind that one.
That's it. We'll do it all on those selfie sticks. It'd be really awkward with headphones in, and we'll just walk around like knobs. That'd be great. Top quality content, that'll be. Leaning over people playing and stuff, just to be really awkward.
Oh, get those old motion cameras like they used to use during the days of MySpace, like the 3 megapixel that were terrible, and just do the whole convention in that, cover the whole show like that.
That'd be
amazing.
It would be a hit. I'm telling you, it would be a hit. People are like, what am I watching? I don't know. It's so great. I'm watching it.
It would be good fun. So yeah, that pretty much sums up our thoughts on the Game Fest.
My question is, though, before we move on, are Xbox going to be doing a lot at it? But another good thing is, I mean, it means that if Xbox Games Showcase thing is only in 90 minutes, we don't have to worry that they're not going to put everything in because they can then overflow into Geoff's show. So,
you know, I was sitting here. Oh, now we lost clowns. Oh, my God, show's on fire tonight. We're nailing it. There we go. Hey. So
I think it's just Discord's giving us shit today. I don't think it's us.
Issues. Yeah. So I was thinking about this the other night. I was like, you know what? I love that Xbox is still continuing to do their show. But wouldn't it be fucking great if they did it like WrestleMania? Where they spread it over 2 days. Come out Saturday, have like the indie showcase for like 2 to 3 hours. Show off some good time on the indie games. And then,
I'd love an idea Xbox proper showcase, not the little crap, not the Twitch ones, bro. Like, do it like one day, even 3 day, Friday indie, Saturday the main show, and then Sunday that one with Paris where they had like the developers talking and a bit more. It was a bit more slow paced, wasn't it? A bit more finer details over like trailers and stuff. So
I feel like we've lost clowns again. I feel like we've really missed a trick there, or Xbox has really missed a trick there, because like they could have had like a WrestleMania extravaganza kind of Xbox showcasing. Because if E3 is not on this year, but it's on again next year, there's no reason why they couldn't have had like a 3-day event. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
2 to 3 hour shows, Saturday, Sunday. Would have been amazing. I feel like they've missed out.
So I've tried to turn on my camera and I think it kicked me twice. This is not good.
Yeah, leave the camera off. Don't let's try not to do that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what's happened. Sorry, guys.
I'm quite glad you don't have a camera, to be fair, because your beard puts mine to shame. I get proper beard envy. So,
you know, the secret is just don't comb it for like 3 years.
I'd get to that point though. Like, mine gets to that point where it starts making me miserable. Like it gets too long. Like because mine doesn't grow down.
Mine started doing that. Yeah, mine started doing that, and I get like odd, random, really long ones. So I shave that. Like I trim them, and it's just a never-ending cycle. I've got like an all right shape, but there's so many sticking out, and I'm like, I just look like a giant pube face.
This is like
I see all these people with these beautiful beards, and I'm like, how the fuck do your beards go in one way? Mine just go like that.
Just go like this.
Yeah. All over the place, wherever they want. My beard, my ear, it all points up in different directions. I'm like twirling them, trying to get them down.
This is like perfect Redders at this length. As soon as it gets longer than this, it just I look ridiculous, like a bushwhacker.
I mean, both of you have that like GQ kind of look, you know, like it's even, it's shaved right. You don't look like the Geico caveman out there, you know.
There's a reason why we asked for Hipster Cafe, isn't there?
That's why they offered us Hipster Cafe. They saw Redders as trim, and they were like, he's a guy who can play Hipster Cafe.
I am their demographic. So yeah, let's move on. What have we got next? I forgot what we were talking about.
Games, all the games.
Oh, Xbox experiences 24 hours of outages. Massive news coming out this weekend. A lot of angry people.
Those people that couldn't know what to do, had to go outside, breathe oxygen.
I'll tell you what, it was
fresh air. They melted.
I found it was scary, like the way some people reacted to it. I mean, I get that people want to play Xbox, but it was only 24 hours. It's just
I had no issues at all.
I didn't have any issues, but like even if I did have issues, it wouldn't have affected me that much. Like
no, you'd just go, oh, put that down for a minute, and just go and do something else. I'll put the telly on.
I'd look out the window and think, oh look, there's grass out there, and I'd go out and touch grass. Like that's why. Like it just. The way some people went about it on Twitter, I actually caught quite a lot of heat yesterday on Twitter about it. Because the way some people were going about it was like, you know, Xbox had just pulled their life support. It was ridiculous. I mean, if a tree falls down, right, and it hits an electric cable and you lose electricity for a day, I mean, that happened to us during, I can't remember the name of the storm, the recent storm that happened. Is it Enid? I can't remember. But that, like, my missus without power for like 2 weeks. But like, you just get on and deal with it, don't you? Like these people are literally hitting Twitter like a whirlwind, just having an absolute meltdown over 24 hours of no Xbox.
Yeah, and it was silly. Like a lot of fanboys jumped on, and they all seemed to forget that PlayStation had that, wasn't it? Like 14-day down period where everyone's details we all got scammed out of our direct debit details and stuff. All of our personal details went.
Talk about that. We're not allowed to talk about that. We'll keep that quiet.
Hey, I got loads of free games for my PS3 out of that. I didn't mind. I hardly ever played on my PS3 online, so I literally only subscribed for the free games.
Yeah.
And it went down, and so I didn't even notice for about a week until I saw some people online saying about it. And then they gave away a load of games, and you got some right good games as well, like Ratchet and Clank and all sorts. So I was like, yes, please. I was like, fantastic, I'm a winner here. But people were like, I hope they compensate us for this 12 hours Xbox has been down.
Yeah.
The problem was it mainly affected people like GameShare. So you're not getting compensated because your dirty bastards aren't paying for your full price for your games. Microsoft's watching you. Microsoft's watching.
Out. You're calling them out.
Hey, if I had someone, I said this to Redders and Gina the other day, if I knew someone whose game collection was as valuable as mine, I would game share with them, but no one would give me the value I would give them, so no, they're not having my games. So
I actually game share with V2 Timmy. So yeah, we only pay like half price for like all the new releases. That's how it like works out anyway. If you're not game sharing, you need to be game sharing. It's brilliant. Get yourself a buddy, set up game sharing and pay half price for all your new releases.
Just buy your Xbox games from different regions and get them less than half price.
It's tricky now, though,
people are gonna call you out.
There's lots of different ways to do it, though, isn't there? I mean, to save money.
What a dirty bastard!
I never heard of CD Keys or Aniba. I never heard of those places.
No, never at all. No. Not saying I can't wait to play Evil Dead this week. Oh yes.
Oh yeah. I never heard of that either. Oh yeah, those people over there that got it for $13. Yeah.
Yeah, $13 for deluxe edition. Phew.
That's so cheap.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Tell you, mate, you just got to live in Argentina, and
you gotta sail the seas to Argentina, my friend.
Yeah, so like everyone goes on holiday to New Zealand when a new game comes out on Game Pass, you go to Argentina and you get them dirt cheap. So
I have to get on the old pirate ship and I head to Argentina.
Yeah,
there you go. Get a little wooden raft. That's my pirate ship.
But to me, it's like the people that were complaining, 90%. I mean, some of them were affected apparently who didn't game share, but you've got to take that as Twitter face value. But the majority I saw who actually suffered, because I was looking underneath just to check because I was just curious. The majority of them did game share, and it's because it wasn't set to their home console, or they just not set it to their home console. Apparently, because an Xbox dev has come out and talked about it on a Reddit post or something. Xbox, unlike PlayStation, when you buy the new console, it doesn't set your Series X. So you've got a One already. It didn't set your Series X to your home console because you've already set your One. So you should technically have to set your Series X to your home manually. Whereas PlayStation auto does it to the newest console. That's your home one, unless you change it. So it was a validation issue. They've said it wasn't an ownership issue. It was a validation issue, and they said the generic sort of text that they come on the screen is so loose and it covers so many things. They are actively looking at changing that in the future to stop people complaining, because people were complaining about DRM and stuff, and that wasn't the case.
I'll tell you what,
it was the case it couldn't just read your verification that you owned it, so they're going to change that in the future, hopefully.
I need people to shut the fuck up and stop talking about it, because if they give Xbox ideas to take away game share, I'm fucked.
I don't think they would. There's too many people.
No.
They make so much money off it.
I remember when they announced Xbox One originally, they had a whole plan where you could have a whole family that if you bought a game for one, you could buy it for the whole family, and you could have it on.
Yeah, but everyone moaned about that, and now look at them. That's what they all do.
It's genius. It's absolutely genius. I wish. Get on the game share wagon. It's brilliant.
I was watching. Slightly on topic about that original sharing thing. I finally got round to watching the Power On. Do you know the Xbox?
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're on about, yeah.
I'd watched the first episode and I finally sat down and watched the rest of them the other day. And the fact that they were saying, the Xbox One, the DRM wasn't like everyone was saying and they were peddling.
No.
It was you could still share your games, you could still give your games to other people. They just worded it terribly and they said that was on us, but we took a load of backlash, but it was just the messaging, which seems to be repeating itself this weekend with this outage. So clearly it's a messaging issue, not a sort of hardware issue as such. Yeah. So they need to sort of looking side and sort of figure out how to sort of clear that up a bit. I think Microsoft anyway.
I always think about 2013 when Domitric came out and just started dropping PR bombs like one after another, and I always felt like if they just worded it differently, it wouldn't have been such a bad idea, because DRM's been around for years, isn't it? It's not going anywhere. I just feel like PlayStation just stood at the side and was like, go on, let them jump first. Go on, let them jump first. And they did. Because I remember when the PlayStation came out, they changed their terms of service, didn't they? Like a week before the PS4 came out.
Yeah.
To say that we have the right to include DRM or something in other future titles or something to that effect. And it just left me thinking, like, you know what? That was their plan all along. Like, just let Xbox get out in front, and if it backfires on them, we'll just add it secretly.
You know, that whole thing really bothered me a lot, though, because it's not like Xbox, and it's probably more Matrick than anybody else that came out and wanted to go with that approach, but it's not like Xbox was the first company that ever thought of this. I mean, Steam was using DRM for how long? Forever?
Yeah.
Before that, right? I mean, and there's a lot of PC players. Not one of them ever complained on the PC about Steam in the last like 5-6 years, right? And
yeah, how many times has Steam been down though? And if you haven't set your Steam to offline mode or active, I've had days I couldn't play on my Steam, and I just went, I'll play something else.
Yeah,
I mean, you just live. No one cares. No one cares. It looks worse than it is because social media breeds hate, and the loudest people are the smallest ones. Do you know what I mean? They just shout.
I feel like everybody's standing around waiting for Xbox to fail. They're waiting for the slightest little hint of weakness. Because let's be honest, like Xbox has been on a massive roll for like the last 2-3 years. Game Pass is in a phenomenal position. There's nothing that rivals it. The Series X is the most powerful console on the market, and everybody is talking good things about Xbox, and the internet fucking hates it. It's always been cool to hate on Xbox, always, and people have been doing it since Xbox came out with the original Xbox. So I honestly think that people stand around waiting for these moments just so they can jump on it with full ferocity.
There's one thing that a lot of people really forget, and this goes back to like this was, they could have brought this up when everybody's complaining about Xbox in 2013, but the PS3, after the PS3, the firmware, they did the custom firmware with Geoff and the German group.
Yeah.
Sony started putting rootkits on their PS3s to catch that firmware hack. And where were all the people complaining about DRM then? Because that was like a DRM spy on your console to make sure that you weren't doing anything that you shouldn't have been doing, because it was a perma account ban by Sony if you got caught. Yeah. And then years before that, they did that with the CDs as well. I don't know if you guys remember that, but we're talking like maybe around 2001, 2002. But they had on their CDs, if you put them in your PC, they got sued over this. There was rootkits to make sure that you weren't going to try to copy their CDs.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, I mean, all this outlash against Xbox in 2013, but, everybody forgets about what the alleged, which is not even competition to me anymore, but what the alleged competition was doing. Everybody forgets.
Yeah. It's convenient. Like, if it's PlayStation, it's fine. If it's Xbox, all over it. All over it. And it's just a shame. It's a shame that it has to be that way. But, that pretty much covers Xbox having outages.
Don't be a dick. Just report it to support, file a ticket, go and play somewhere else, switch your Xbox off, watch your film, you can shag your girlfriend, go touch grass, go and try and get a girlfriend, because most of the people moaning online probably don't know what that is. Do you know what I mean? Anything. So just complaining about it, it's silly. Like, they were down for 12 hours. They're not going to compensate you as much as how they're going to do that. We're going to add extra 12 hours. That would just don't make any sense, because it's day to day. If you sign up at 11 o'clock mid of the day, like in the evening, you technically paying for a full day and you only get an hour anyway. So it's it's stupid.
This is like, I think there's like 730 hours in a month. You're paying for a month. It was down for 12 hours. That's not a big. That's not a whole lot of time that was actually down in the overall grand scheme of things. And I caught a lot of shit yesterday because I said that people more worried about Xbox and giving Xbox shit for the services being down and because it feels like people are just completely oblivious now to what's going on around them in the world, and that's alarming. Because we've got social media, we've never been more connected. We've got the internet, we've got a waft of information at our fingertips, but everyone seems to be so disconnected from the real world, and it's scary.
Yeah,
it's alarming. But yeah, let's move on to our next topic, which I can't remember what it is. PlayStation. It's PlayStation and Bungie in it. The FTC has decided to open up an investigation into Sony's purchase of Bungie.
Yeah, they were like Jim Ryan and Bungie's whoever CEO Bungie were just about to shake hands, and then the bloody glass shattered and Stone Cold came out with the FTC face. It's like, oh hell no, and he's just stunning them both at the moment. That's what's basically happened.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Clowns? What's your thoughts on this?
I think this FTC stuff, and I hate to say it, but I think a lot of it right now is just political. It's just politics, right? Because you got politicians that anytime you come up halftime to an election year, like in between, politicians start crying about something publicly. Oh, we're gonna get this government organization to look into this. We're gonna take care of this. You vote for us, we'll make sure that we represent you. But the minute, that they get elected again, they forget about it all. So this whole FTC stuff is just nonsense that politicians are just keep reiterating to the press to talk about. Technically, the FTC reviews everything anyway, like all these different mergers and acquisitions. It's a regulatory body, so they have to review it. And there's not much they can do to try and stop this, because as long as everything's done legally, nobody pulled any shady maneuvers, nothing can be done. It's all fair business in a capitalistic market of America that we live in, and that's just how capitalism works here. Like, you got the money, you make the deal, you got the lawyers, boom, it's done. What nothing you can do about it. You can complain and whine to the press and get guys like, I don't know, Jason Schreier to get all upset about it and then write articles about it, but it's just politics. That's it. Because we look at
by Jason yet as well.
Yeah, no. I'm on speaking terms with Jason, but I just think that a lot of writers use these opportunities to make articles, and everybody clicks on it because they want something to be enraged about for the moment. We look at Tencent, right? How much stuff does Tencent own? They own a crap ton of stuff, right? Where was all the complaints with the FTC watching their mergers and acquisitions? It was never there, never publicized. Embracer Group. I mean, look at all the stuff they bought, even through bankruptcies like THQ and Nordic. Was FTC talked about? Was Bernie Sanders and AOC all upset on Twitter? Oh my God, you have to look at this! They're going bankrupt and they're buying bankrupt companies? No. And
the horror.
it would be more detrimental for this deal to fail than anything else, because if this deal was to fail, which I don't think it won't, but if it was to fail, we got loss of jobs at Activision. We're at a company that will probably fold. We're going to lose all these amazing IPs unless somebody comes up and buys them and reestablishes the studios, which would cost a lot of money. Did Activision maybe have bad leadership? Sure. But Microsoft coming in, cleaning house, fixing it up, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
FTC is going to see that and be like, oh yeah, they're really doing the right thing here, because Activision's too big to fail. Because if it fails, a lot of studios, a lot of people, unemployment, welfare, medical assistance, it will be such a burden onto the economy, man.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I kind of hope that Xbox steps in and buys Ubisoft. I mean, I know that they probably won't, but I feel like Ubisoft is in the same situation as what Activision was in when they announced that Xbox was going to buy them. Because like Ubisoft leadership is pretty much asleep at the wheel at this point. And I feel like the company's got the same kind of reputation that Activision has managed to acquire. And it'd be nice to see Xbox step in and just say, you know what, we'll take over, get rid of all the, the dead weight and shit cunts, and we'll just We'll just bring in.
I still don't think that they've done acquiring. I just think they haven't announced it yet. Like, if they've bought a private studio, they don't have to announce it. If they've bought, if they're trying to buy other public studios, they don't have to announce it just yet. But I feel like this Activision thing, everyone's sort of saying, no, that's it, they can't do anything. And it's a load of shit. They can do it. They can. They just have to warrant their purchases. Do you know what I mean? They could announce more anytime. It's
my biggest gripe with both companies. These are both companies that have been heavily criticised and for having cultivated this sexual harassment environment that was able to go on for so long. And you've got people like Bobby Kotick and Yves Guillemot. They're the CEOs of this company. If anybody is supposed to know what's going on within that company, it's those two. And they completely turn a blind eye to it. So I feel on that ground alone, they need to go.
And the fact that the Guillemots are trying to sort of prevent people buying the company as well for Ubisoft at the moment. They're trying
that's what it's all about, isn't it? They're trying to prevent a hostile takeover.
Yeah,
I think that's what needs to happen, though. The Guillemots need to go. They need to be gone.
It's the same with all crazy CEOs. Look at Take-Two. Their CEO has just been announced that he's guaranteed his spot till 2029. Who gets?
Is that Randy? That's not Randy. That's Gearbox. Randy pitched.
Yeah, well, he's just as bad. He's bloody sex pest Randy as well. But
sex pest.
No, I can't remember who the guy who's head of Take-Two, but I'm sure they've just announced. I saw it online earlier that he's now going to be CEO till 2029 or something like that.
All right.
How can they guarantee that? How do they know next year he's not going to fuck up? Or like he's like, oh, I'm here till 2029, right? Let's get all these interns touched up now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
But I feel like, I like acquisitions. I don't know why it gets me excited. It makes me excited about
it.
Because they're like Activision and Ubisoft. Those companies literally plague their games now with microtransactions.
Well, look at the Embracer one last week with Crystal Dynamics. That's going to be great for them. One, because they're going to actually probably support Tomb Raider games. They're going to support Deus Ex games. They're going to support Legacy of Kain and stuff. Those IPs don't get any love from Square, or didn't. So now they've gone to a company that is notorious for sort of bringing back classic IP. So I'm happy for it.
I did find it quite funny that Square sold off these studios so they could invest in blockchain and NFTs. And then
the next day,
the market of NFTs absolutely bombs.
Yeah,
timing.
It dropped 90% in a week, didn't it? The NFT market.
Mental.
After they fire sailed Crystal Dynamics and that to
300
fund
million.
blockchain. 300. To be fair, though, you've got to think, other than Tomb Raider, it was popular and it was successful, but it wasn't a mega hit. Deus Ex did shit. Avengers did shit. Guardians of the Galaxy didn't do particularly well. Eidos Montreal, I couldn't tell you what they've made recently, and their IPs they weren't getting love. So it's like I was listening to the Xbox 2 podcast, and I can't remember what they said exactly, but it was like clearly there wasn't much interest in those studios and those IPs, and I understand like those IPs have been unloved for so long, so they probably weren't worth that much.
Those studios that got sold by Square Enix actually have a fighting chance now, I think, because I feel like Square Enix set these studios up to fail. It happened with Guardians of the Galaxy, not Guardians of the Galaxy. It happened with Avengers. That game didn't turn a profit for the first year. Happened with Outriders. Apparently that game still hasn't turned a profit. I just feel like they tie these developers up in really shady contracts, and they just don't get paid for it. And I'm actually happy to see those studios go off to somewhere that might actually appreciate them. You're muted.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Yeah, it's a shame Xbox didn't pick up Crystal Dynamics, especially because they're working with them on Perfect Dark, and I like Crystal Dynamics. I really like, and I know people like the new Tomb Raider, but I loved Legends and those ones they did. I thought they were really good Tomb Raider games.
That is like, I can't remember what they are.
The 360 ones, the ones that were before the reboot, but after like the point where the Tomb Raider games went really to shit. Like there was Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, fantastic, and then there was a couple of dodges, and then Crystal Dynamics took over, and they got up to another good level. They weren't perfect, but they were good. And then they rebooted it, and I enjoyed the reboots as well. I don't think the reboots are as good as the old. I like the old.
No, see, I didn't. I liked the old Tomb Raiders. I wasn't in love with the old Tomb Raiders. Like, they didn't really grip me like that. I could have played them once and one and done them, but I absolutely love the reboots. I think the reboots are perfect. Well, to be fair, she's more of a fucking mercenary now than she is a Tomb Raider. She's literally just go around murdering everybody. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. They're both good in their own right, though. So I'm glad they've gone on to better places as well. But it does seem like Square Enix is setting itself up for a sale, and it's probably going to PlayStation. Let's not kid ourselves. There's only one company that will probably buy them. I mean, I bet Xbox would sniff, but I bet even Xbox offered them more money, they'd still sell to PlayStation because they for some reason they hate us. They do not like Xbox. Xbox. I don't know why. Like we beg for game ports, and they're like, nah. You want Final Fantasy 7, dear? Nah. You want Final Fantasy 14, dear? Nah. Fuck yeah.
So that pretty much concludes that.
Apparently our mics are low, yours and mine.
Yeah, I've turned them up. I don't know what's going on because like sometimes whenever it's switching between like the Xbox Party Podcast stream, so this setup, the OBS setup for this, and then the OBS setup for the live streams, my mic just does weird shit, and it just seems to adjust in volume on its own. I don't know what's going on with it. I need to get a new one. But is there anything you wanted to talk about tonight, Ash? Topic wise?
Big one from today is obviously Warner Brothers have announced that the new Gotham Knights game, they are ditching last gen. They're only doing Xbox Series X and S and PS4 plus PC, PS5 should I say, and PC versions. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a delay in the game compared like from the previous announced delays, which is nice. But they've done a new trailer and it just sort of ignores all previous gen consoles. So cool. I'm all up for that. Like I said off camera, I've got a new console, so I would rather get the best of the best and then focus on modern systems instead of splitting their resources, especially because they, for some reason, Warner Brother Games can't seem to get the shit together and be on time for anything at the moment. So I'd rather they focus the resources and made really good next gen, and they could always release a last gen version later on. Yeah, something like that maybe, but it doesn't bother me. But I can see a lot of people moaning online though. So
I feel like it's time. You know, we're nearly 2 years into this generation. I feel like it's time we start thinking about leaving the last generation behind. Because, I mean, you got to develop 4 versions of a game, or you can just develop 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I just feel like it's time.
We're over sort of 10 to 15 million consoles now for these new systems as well, so there is at least a player base, and these games were never going to sell 30 million copies. Yeah. I mean, if you look, PlayStation did that investor call the other day, and they've hardly sold any sort of first party compared to like the numbers of consoles and stuff, so overall, like I say, I think they've probably looked and gone, actually, there's enough next gen now to warrant doing this. I mean, if it doesn't sell well, they could maybe pump some resources into then do a last gen. But it's just life. So
there is a semiconductor and chip shortage, and not everybody can get their hands on an Xbox Series X and S and.
It's unfortunate, PS5, but you've got cloud gaming as well, though.
Yeah,
you don't technically hopefully do it that way.
Yeah, and I'm okay with last gen getting left behind now. I just think it's time.
Do the Don Matt trick. Well, they can always buy a different console.
We have a console for people that want to play Gotham Knights.
Hey, fair play to him though. He was on that. He was even on that Xbox on documentary.
Was he?
Yeah, he looked like he had he'd nicked Hitler's haircut, this weird sort of
the
greasy comb over. But fair play, he came on and was like, "Yeah, everyone hates me."
Like, I fucked up.
He still did it, and fair play to the man for coming on and doing it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I didn't realise the guy from who did Jurassic Park Warpath was part of the Xbox team. I thought that was really not Warpath, Trespassers. You know that one where the arm was like that with a gun. Oh man, I learnt loads off that. I thought it was a really good documentary. I'll talk about it for weeks.
What's your thoughts, Clowns?
Well, on the Gotham Knights stuff, I think that it's kind of, I think, I hate to say this, but I think we're kind of getting to that point where it's to be expected, right? We're going to start seeing a lot of companies that maybe originally thought they were going to get a game out sooner and were originally going to support the older systems. They're realizing now that the market for those systems is starting to dissipate and everybody wants the next gen, the next and the best, greatest thing. So they're going to probably more than likely drop the support just like Gotham Knights did because it's just too much to focus on to try and get your games working and then fixing patches on that and then patching on the new system. So it just saves a bunch of hassle and it gives people more an incentive to get the newer consoles.
Yeah, that's fair. Just to touch on what you were saying, Ash, I think the reason why Warner Brothers are taking so long to put games out now is because they're in that state of uncertainty, aren't they? Like the studios that they're now selling off studios. So I remember Ed Boon from NetherRealm was saying not long ago that he doesn't know whether to make an Injustice or a Mortal Kombat because there's no certainty at Warner Brothers at the moment. And he said that about a year ago. So I think it's one of those. I think they're afraid to take a chance at the moment in case they get sold off and shipped off to another company. But yeah, I'd love to see Xbox or PlayStation pick up, some Warner Brothers studios. I think NetherRealm would be a perfect fit for Xbox.
Yeah.
I think Rocksteady Studios deserves to go to Xbox as well. I feel like everybody's always saying Xbox has no superhero games and no fighting games. Well, there you go. Pick up Rocksteady Studios and NetherRealm, problem solved.
Rocksteady haven't done it in like 8 years. That's my problem with Rocksteady. They've literally done nothing.
That doesn't bother me though, because like you take GTA, take Rockstar. I mean, they've only put out Red Dead in 10 years and Grand Theft Auto 5 4 times.
Yeah, but they've been updated. Fair play to them. They haven't put new games out, but Grand Theft Auto Online gets more DLC than pretty much any game I've ever seen online.
Is it DLC? It's microtransactions though. It's not.
Oh, I'm not saying it's
DLC.
proper DLC, but it's new content, but it's locked behind stupid microtransaction paywalls. But Rocksteady haven't put anything out since City was it Arkham City?
No, Arkham.
And I'm not saying I bet Suicide Squad or whatever it is amazing, but
I
don't know. There's something's gone wrong there. Like I think behind the scenes, that'll make a really good documentary or article in the future about something. Obviously went wrong at Warner Bros. Because everything got delayed. Like Gotham Knights did, Rockstar's games did, the Traveller's Tales Lego game got delayed for like a year and a half, and they never get delayed. They pump them out like there's no tomorrow. Something obviously has happened in leadership there.
I think studios are up for sale, and I think that's why they're taking so long. Because like they're not going to.
That or the heads of 343 have been like came from those studios, something like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I would love to see Mortal Kombat as an Xbox exclusive, just because PlayStation have locked down Street Fighter for so long. I've always felt it was always Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. There was always that rivalry, and I was always team Mortal Kombat. So to get Mortal Kombat on Xbox whilst PlayStation holds on to Street Fighter, I think that'd be excellent. I'd love to see that happen. But yeah, Gotham Knights delayed. Actually, no, it wasn't delayed. It's coming out in October, isn't it? And they are ditching the last gen versions of the game, which is fair enough. I think it's time. So, moving on. What else have we got to talk about, Ash? Help me out.
Games.
I'm lost.
Games.
I am lost in this wall of posts from Slayer.
Slayer. We asked for sort of like, we've got, for those who don't know, we have like a Discord where we discuss like what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And bless him, Slayer, we've added him to the UK group because at the moment we're not doing the USA show anymore. So in case he pops on as a guest or something, and he has outright flooded us with fantastic suggestions. So I'm going to I'll run through some of his stuff quickly, just so he feels loved. So WWE have announced that they're working on a mobile pro wrestling RPG game.
Not interested.
If it was an RPG game and it was on console, I'd be interested. But as soon as you say mobile, I lose all interest. They announced it in like a conference call or something like that. No real details on it, but if it's anything like the other WWE mobile games, it'll be gash. Epic Games Store has finally added library filters, which is shocking. it's been out this long and it still doesn't. But honestly, who goes on the Epic Game Store and doesn't just go on every once a week, click add to library for the free games, and then close it down again like I do? I can't be the only one, right? Surely. So, but that's been added.
There's rumors of a Titanfall 3 coming, or an announcement for
Rumors,
Titanfall 3 coming. I'll tell you what, I want a new Titanfall, but I want them to really change it up. I like the multiplayer. I thought the story mode of Titanfall 2 is fantastic. If you haven't played it, check it out. One of the best FPS story modes out there. I want to see them have, right, this is my dream of Titanfall, right? I want them to have big fucking battleground maps. Like Battlefield. I want it to be like a proper Battlefield setting. Those size maps, you know, huge maps. That's what I want for Titanfall. I don't like these little tight, you know, tight and pokey maps for Titanfall. I'd like to see some like proper map warfare.
Yeah.
Where like not everybody, like you don't start off the game with a Titan either. Imagine like a Battlefield version of Titanfall. Where you start off...
But could it be really annoying, though, if you're that one guy who never gets a Titan and you just keep getting mushed by a guy in a Titan? That's my issue with it, because I hate playing Battlefield, and you always try and get in the tank or the bloody plane, and they're like all camped around it, they all just spawn in it and fly off, and you never get a go.
Yeah, but then like...
your own planes and stuff, because it annoys me.
You could have like a certain amount of Titans at the start, and then they could be scattered throughout the middle of the map that you got to fight for. I just think that'd be fucking excellent. That'd be so good. I mean, obviously you're quite limited by like graphical horsepower and shit. I just feel like that's the way to go with Titanfall. Make it like a Battlefield game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Titanfall 3 might be coming soon, if rumours are to be believed.
Biggest news of the week. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl are teasing new characters for this week. They haven't announced them like that I've seen yet, but they're teasing more characters. And this is basically the sort of double-A Nickelodeon Smash Bros knockoff, but I quite like it. My kids love playing it. You can play as like SpongeBob and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Cat Dog, Invader Zim, stuff like that. You get to play as Reptar. I mean, it's cool. So they've previously added Garfield and Shredder as playable characters for free, and these are free updates. So they're looking at adding more soon, but there was originally a leak when it first came out that they were going to do like a character season pass like Smash Bros.
Yeah,
but it never materialized. So maybe if it's more than one character in like one arena, maybe they'll do the battle pass sort of season pass sort of fighter pass thing. So I'm up for that because I think the game's quite fun. The only downside that has, it doesn't have voice acting. For obviously they didn't want to pay for the licensing for all the voice cast, but
yeah,
the gameplay itself is solid. And any game where I get to play as Patrick Star and fart lasers at people off of a fighting game wall is amazing. I love it. It's so stupid. So more content is really good. It had a rocky start at launch, but they fixed all the sort of things, and it's got, is it like netcode or something like that, rollback code or something? They actually use that, which is supposed to be good for fighting games or something. I don't play it competitively. I couldn't imagine saying, "Oh, I'm a Nigel Thornberry pro." Do you know what I mean? Smashing.
You know, now I want to break out my copy that I haven't opened yet and play it.
Oh, it is really fun. But me and Fabio got it on launch, but the online, it was, because obviously we're in different continents, it was terrible. But I've played it offline. I've played it a lot. They've added a few extra characters. Every character's now got an alternate costume as well because they didn't have on launch. So they've listened to the fans, but there is a small development team. This isn't like the big Smash Bros team, but there's a wealth of Nickelodeon characters. So I'd like to see more. Apparently, one of the rumors was Tommy Pickles was going to be a fighter, but I think they probably scrapped that because you can't really beat up a baby in a fighting game. As much as I'd love to play the fighting game where I can play as Tommy Pickles, that'd be amazing. It's got Ren and Stimpy. Can you imagine Ren and Stimpy beating up a baby? It's perfect, isn't it?
That's horrendous.
Why would you not want that game? It's like AAA, 10 out of 10 game of the year.
I'll tell you what, speaking of adding like weird shit to games, I was looking on the Smite Facebook earlier. You'll never believe what they're adding this week to the Battle Pass, the new Battle Pass. They're adding fucking Slipknot skins to Smite.
Yes, and can I get them on Amazon Prime for free?
Couldn't believe it.
For Xbox for free.
I couldn't believe it. You got all the band members of Slipknot in Smite as skins for different gods. I thought, what the most bizarre fucking crossover I've ever experienced. I thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Transformers was quite weird. This takes weird to a whole new level. And you know what? I'm actually going to buy it and I'm going to enjoy it.
I would buy it if I had the time and effort to play it. I'll probably just download the free one or the starter one, where you get the guaranteed costume or something. I'll probably do that.
I think it's a perk, and you get all the gods now as a perk on Xbox. I might be wrong. Don't quote me.
I'll have to have a look.
But I'm pretty sure you can get all the gods on.
I'll have to have a gander at that then.
I couldn't believe that. Like all the band members of Slipknot as Smite gods.
That is amazing.
How incredibly
they keep
random.
Adding weird things to games nowadays, don't they? Though, like look at that Call of Duty Warzone that's getting Godzilla versus King Kong. And then I saw that that kart racing game they announced on the Xbox show last year, was it, or the year before? Like Super Mega Go Kart X or something, and they had a beta of it not long after the showcase, and then we've never heard from it again. And it's had a beta on PlayStation as well. Well, it's out on PC and it's been out for ages. That's getting a Sonic crossover, but you play as Sonic characters, but they don't have cars, which baffles the point of it's a kart racing game, but the Sonic characters just run.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Even though Sonic has his own car, he's got his own car racing game, so it's just weird crossovers. And you're like, out of all the things, I always used to like that Sonic and Sega Racing where there was that special character Danica Patrick. They're like, all of them are Sega characters, and then there's her from Daytona or something like that. And I'm like, all right.
Just so random.
Yeah, I love it. I love weird crossovers that you just don't need in a game. I love it when they do stupid costumes and stuff. Halo Infinite's getting it's getting the content for the game for the TV show, isn't it? The Halo.
Oh yeah, Geoff was saying about that.
It's really disappointing. It is just
Zero
looks like it's just emblems and charms for your gun. No Master Cheeks costume. No mustache. Helmet. I'm disappointed. No Quan mullet hair.
No Quan of the Hill mode. Absolutely shocking. Clowns, have you been watching the Halo series? What do you think of it?
The Halo, I think it started off great. Like the action in the beginning, and then once we got to Reach and Dr. Halsey, I kind of got bored. And now I'm in an in-between phase where I'm kind of interested in what the Covenant is planning, what they're doing. So I'm into the story of it, but I miss the all-out action that the first episode had. I want to go back to that action. And to be honest with you, I might not be as hardcore Halo fans as some of you guys here or some of the people listening to the podcast, but I'm really not that interested in Dr. Halsey. And they focus a lot on her relationship with, Master Chief right now, because I guess that's part of the big backstory of how he became Master Chief. Yeah. But can we just kill off Dr. Halsey and just leave Cortana in there and get rid of her? Because she's taking up too much.
Cortana. She's so
cool.
I genuinely see that.
Cortana's amazing.
That Halo Mother's Day post.
Yes, I did see that.
Day,
I thought that was brilliant. Just running off
Chief as a child. Oh, that was so bad.
It was brilliant.
So much of that.
I'll tell you, Quan is the biggest issue I have with the entire show. She just sucks the life out of it. I really enjoy Master Chief. I want to see him on screen. I even enjoy Kai 125. This week's was the first episode since the very first episode. I put it on for like 10-15 minutes. I thought, I'm fucking bored of this, and I turned it off. And I haven't gone back to
your sins. Do you not miss no?
I'll tell you what, if
terrible.
If you want a very entertaining 10 minutes, I recommend you go and check out Ash's review of this week's Halo episode, because it is fucking hilarious. I've never seen him more soul destroyed, more down and out. It was just perfect.
Honestly,
so
they went from the two best episodes, like a season high, to the most boring, long-winded, spiritual traveling of Quan, and there was nothing to do with any of the other plot, the main plot of the series that's been building up for the other 6 episodes. They went, we're just going to ignore all that and just focus on Quan for a full hour. Oh, it was dreadful.
And she
It was
doesn't
dreadful.
even die at the end of it.
No.
So she's
she don't.
still here. Like, it's still
I don't
going
want to
on.
spoil it, but like someone dies, and it's like I can't believe that's how they died, and that was it. I'll tell you after the show, mate.
Oh, you're going to ruin it for me, aren't you? Oh,
Oh, and I'm just like, that's it after all these.
it's not
episodes,
Kai,
that's
is
how
it?
ends.
It's not Kai.
No,
is it?
no, they're not
Oh,
even in
thank
it.
God. Oh, okay, that's all right.
Right, literally, this episode that was just on, it was all about Kwan and discovering the truth of her family and their history and all that. And
I just don't care.
Master Chief's in it for about 2 minutes, and he's not really there. It's a hallucination, and you're like, it's like a fever dream where she fights him. And that's the
Amazing.
best bit of the series because he literally kills her three or four times, but she's not really dead because it's an hallucination.
I'm gonna have to watch.
But that was it, and it
have
was
to watch that.
terrible. And I was just like, there was a bit of action at the end, but even then I was like, why? Why is this happening? What is going on? So
I think she was good to introduce John as a bit more human, but she's outlived her purpose now. I just want her gone. I want her gone from the show. She's boring me. But yeah, I've completely gone off topic here.
But yeah, Pyro says I would recommend just waiting and binging it from start to finish because, especially with this episode, like I was on a high, ready for this episode. This episode, it just killed it off.
And then Quan happens.
And now I'm not that bothered about the next episode after being super into the series. I was just bored, and it would have been fine if it was a random sci-fi channel sci-fi program about and being on some desert planet, but it's not. It's a Halo program. We expect to see Halo stuff in it, like especially after all the stuff they revealed at the end of the last episode, and all the battles and stuff they had in the episode before that, and then to go to just people having family crises and spiritual awakenings in a desert. You're like, oh my god, what?
It's all that heat exhaustion, isn't it, from lying in the sand for so long, waiting for Soren.
Honestly, it gets weird how the timeline works. It sort of jumps to Soren doing something, but then it kind of looks like that was actually while Kwan's doing this, and it's just like, how the hell does this all fit? How did he get there back and everything? And it's just very badly. It just was badly done, I thought.
Yeah,
So-
you're really selling it for me. I can't wait to go back and watch it now.
Can't wait to watch it. It's save it.
I haven't
for
even got any
enemies.
alcohol. I can't even
Finish
get
them.
drunk whilst watching it, just to make it a bit more interesting.
Every time Kwan moans about something, take a shot at how hard her life is. Like, oh, you'll be dead.
Smashed by the first half, yeah.
You'll be dead.
But yeah, anything else you want to talk about? Clowns, is there anything you want to talk about?
Trying to think. I mean, there really hasn't been a whole lot that has been, out there.
Yeah,
News that hasn't been talked about already. I'm just seeing if there's anything new popping up.
It's been a quiet time, but they're going to hold on to everything now till June, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I get so excited for E3 that time of the year and the Xbox Showcase. It's like my Christmas. I get to look at all the games I will buy and won't play for the rest of the year.
Yes.
I am trying to be better. I am actually trying to complete some of my games now, which has been fun. I do like streaming them on the channel and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to start streaming soon, especially if we can get the console streaming working on my end. So
I'll tell you what, man.
That's my
Remote
plan.
play has been fantastic.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Remote play it to my desktop so I can just stream it. It's just
It's easy.
life. My internet's not as good as yours though, so I don't
It's
know
true.
how I can. It works fine on my computer, but what
You
would it
got
be
your
like
40
if I
meg.
load it at the time? Yeah, I 40 meg sad internet. So
Shocking.
there is some news today. Grounded's getting new free update.
I saw that. I was
Ooh.
just checking true achievements to see if they're adding
The
more.
Bugs Strike Back, it's called, and basically it's makes bugs be more. They'll remember if you start killing loads of ants, then the ants start attacking your base and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
So you can basically there's a selection of things. Yeah, so that it says the bugs are tired and they aren't putting up with your attacks anymore. So they've now added rage to bugs, so it's broken down into 3 modes.
Rage.
So passion reactivity means they will take the fight back to your base basically, if you expand on their territory and kill them a lot, they'll start attacking you direct. Instead of like before, they just ignore you. They'll start actively trying to destroy your thing, basically. You can get a waft emitter, which you throw parts from bugs into, and it sort of enrages them to bring them to you. So it's sort of like a
waftometer.
Yeah, so you can sort of bring like things towards you and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what, Grounded is one of those games that it's an absolute time vampire. Because as soon as you start playing it, you just lose hours to it. If you haven't played Grounded, get on it, because it's one of the best games on Game Pass. It's fantastic. And here's the thing:
turrets as well, which looks ace, like proper gun turrets you can build out of like acorns and pollens and pebbles. It looks ace.
I would happily let them develop Grounded forever. Like, because there's so much scope. I mean, they're in the garden at the moment. What's to stop them from getting into the house? You know? Yeah, and then up to the attic,
the streets and stuff like that as well.
I mean, anywhere. It's literally a game that they could just keep building onto and building onto and building onto, and it's already fantastic. So whatever they do to it is just a bonus. Obviously, it has to end with them eventually becoming big again. But if you're like me and grew up in the 80s, and you like movies like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, get on it, because it's like reliving your childhood. It's fantastic. I want them to bring mounts to the game. There needs to be mounts.
Yeah, you should be able to ride them, shouldn't you?
Ride an ant, yeah. And ride a bee.
Do you know what I'd like to see? Like toy cars that you could drive as well. Like, I don't know how it would work, but it's something they could think of. And when they finally bring out this Honey, We Shrunk the Kids TV show that's coming out for Disney Plus, if they don't give me a little Rick Moranis tie-in, I'm going to be super disappointed. Like, that's what that game's made for. Like, get Disney Plus on that. Give us it as like a perk on Xbox Game Pass. We get like a skin to look like Rick Moranis' character. I'm all in.
There's so much shit they could do with it. Like, it doesn't have to end in the garden. Like, they could literally spend decades on that game just adding new bits.
Yeah,
and I'd let them, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, hopefully we'll get new achievements. I haven't gone back and done the last lot of achievements they did. I did the Brood Mother. Got all those achievements, but then they added one to something to do about the haze and the gas canisters. I still haven't done that bit yet. I am going to go back to it.
I haven't played it in a while. We end up just sort of building walls and stuff. We are actually doing a lot when we end up playing.
We should make an XBL.
Yeah, we should do a stream of it, a proper stream. We did a stream on Twitch a while back, but we haven't sort of followed it up. So
yeah, now
we've got more Twitch and streaming capabilities and stuff. Now we're not bound to Twitch. We're doing it on YouTube.
Yeah,
let's start bringing stuff back, because we're on about doing more streams, aren't we? So if you want to see us play some Grounded and stupid stuff like that, let us know in the comments, and other games you'd like to see us play, let us know, because we will try and play whatever you guys want to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when we pick stuff, you might not want to watch it, and we know you don't all want to watch Ginna play Halo Infinite because it's shit, and you're all bored and fed up with it as much as we are. So
I'll tell you what, like I love just coming on here and streaming something for an hour and a half and just chatting with people. It gives me an opportunity to play all the old games I've been keep putting off playing. So yeah,
they need to do a stream direct to YouTube from
your Xbox.
From the Xbox, because it'd make it so much easier for me, because I don't like playing PC games, so I don't tend to stream a lot off my PC, unfortunately.
So this is why I love remote play, because at the moment I'm remote playing my Xbox to the PC, and then I can use the OBS to capture the Xbox app, so it captures like what I'm playing remote play on the Xbox. It's like a little workaround, so you can stream directly to YouTube from your Xbox. You just got to go.
And we get asked to stream a lot of stuff. We turn a lot of it down because we just haven't had the capabilities prior. So expect to see more. We've got Redders is going to be playing some hipster cafe soon. It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
That's going to be so fun.
Let's get hip. Let's get hip.
I swear to God, man, they looked at my beard and like, that's the guy for us. Let's give them a code. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. It does look like a lot of fun. I wanted that other game you applied for. Is it Accident Detective?
No, just called Accident.
You had to work out what happened.
Yeah, it was like there's like a crash and you're at the crash site and you have to like save people and work out what's happened.
I love games that are absolutely horrendous because like they're quite fun. Like when they are like absolutely horrendous. It's like House Flipper, right?
Yeah, stuff like that.
There was a point where I desperately needed to paint my sitting room because like I had a bit of a mold issue and then it got cleared up, but there was still marks and stuff. And I was like, I just can't be asked. I can't be asked to paint the living room. And then I'd load up the Xbox and play fucking House Flipper for like 2 hours. Where I'm literally standing there painting a virtual wall. But I wouldn't do it in real life. What the fuck is that about? Amazing.
Someone's
DOA Extreme
Pyro
Beach Volleyball.
said DOA Extreme Volleyball.
I don't know if they'd let me.
Damn right. I would play that anyway. You don't have to ask. I play all those sort of stupid games. I just bought this weird anime bowling game because it was like £2 on sale last week. I don't know what it's about. It's just bowling, but with like anime people. I was like, why not? So,
oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Weird and wonderful games. I've got loads of out there weird, dodgy games like that are just strange or really old.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people will watch them, and I don't want to sit there for 2 hours just to myself. So, like,
that's fair. Just a reminder,
when
we hit 600, I mean, Ash has put it in chat, but when we do hit 650 subs, Ash is going to be doing an hour-long shower with your dad simulator stream, which I can't wait for. I think it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to rack up the donations on that one.
I didn't even, I honestly, someone told me that it existed once, and I thought they were taking the piss. But it is actually a game, Shower with Your Dad Simulator. So, yeah.
Do you know what I want to do a stream of? That game that is like, it came out on Game Pass, and it's like Finding Nemo, where they're trying to escape from the fish bowls.
I know the one you're on about.
I want to play that. I tried it. Stream that at some point.
I played it, but it's fucking hard. Like
is it? Yeah. Oh, I don't
really hard.
Look like an idiot. I want to play easy games so I can
look
cool.
You're not going to look any worse than what I did yesterday playing Assassin's Creed. A game that I've played.
That was terrible.
A game that I've played many times, and all of the games in the franchise, and I literally spent 20 minutes stuck on one objective.
Yes,
it was terrible, and he kept repeating it and over, and
because like I can't leave it alone. That's the problem. I feel like I have to get all the side objectives whilst I'm doing the initial playthrough. I don't go back and do it afterwards. So I'll literally sit there and get really frustrated because I can't do this objective, and I'll just keep doing it over and over and over again. But then I remember that I'm on a stream and people are watching me for 20 minutes, get really frustrated because I keep failing this objective.
What I might do is then Saturday night. We got a stream on Saturday booked already.
Not that I'm aware of. I think GINNA is streaming on Thursday.
I'll try and do one Saturday then of some kind of game. What I'll do is I'll have a look through my weird and wonderful collection.
Do I am fish?
I might do. I've got loads.
Well, you got Thimber calling out for it. Muppet calling out for it.
I want to play that dog paparazzi game as well. Don't know why.
I know.
Isn't that on Game Pass?
Yeah, I downloaded it a while back. I haven't played it yet.
It's not a good game. I played it.
No, we're only going to hot tub stream Shower with Your Dad Simulator when we hit 1,000 subs. That's when we know. That's when we can hit
when you made it.
We know we've made it. 1,000 subs is our goal for the end of this year. So tell your friends, hit that subscribe button, share it out because we would love to hit 1,000 subs. That's our goal.
I'll tell you what, man. I love Game Pass. There's always something to play. Always something to play.
There's so many weird and wonderful games.
I still haven't got around to playing Track to Yomi, but I've read nothing but great things about it. I was put off a little bit though. I read that there's no damage. There's no damage run achievements, and I'm like, that's gonna be one of those achievements I'm gonna absolutely lose my shit at because I'm already losing my shit at Far Cry 6 because I keep dying on like this mission. Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, I'm gonna get around to playing that hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, I've got loads of weird and wonderful games. So maybe I'll just start chucking some out every now and again, and we'll have a look.
Let me just see if there's anything we missed.
I've got an unreleased World of Warcraft point-and-click adventure game that I want to play at some point. So maybe
is that Arclight thing you linked?
No. This came out years and years ago, like when they did classic point-and-click games. It was called Lord of the Clans, and it got cancelled, but someone leaked it online recently, like completed, basically.
Fair. Well, Slayer linked Warcraft Arclight Rumble as a new mobile Warcraft game.
It's mobile. We don't care. It's gonna be dog. It's gonna be dog arse in it.
I'm quite hopeful for that new World of Warcraft expansion. Looks really good. Might go back. I probably won't.
I would play WoW with you, but I'd have to start a new character because I haven't played it for a long time.
Oh,
but
mate, I don't know if I've
love
got
to
it in me
do.
anymore.
I'd love to do an MMO live stream, like from a new character onwards.
Yeah.
But I don't know yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Of some kind of MMO. There's too much I want to play. That's the problem. I don't want to commit to a series because I'll know I'll get bored or I'll want to do something else.
So one of the last things we have to talk about, apparently there's speculation from the people that are associated with development of Grand Theft Auto 6 that they are hinting about an upcoming announcement. So take that with a pinch of salt because it's Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah, and you never know. But I think we will, I don't know why, I got a feeling they're going to come out on Sony's presser and announce GTA 6. I don't know why. I don't think it'll be Xbox. I think it'll come out on PlayStations. I got a feeling it's going to be this year. I don't know why. I think it's going to be end of this year. We'll get an announcement of GTA 6.
Maybe,
cool, right?
maybe. Phil's going to come out and he's going to one-up Peter Moore. Do you know he had that tattoo on his arm of GTA 4? He's going to get it on his dick saying GTA 6. That's it. Calling it now.
You know, we asked it last week, but Clowns, what are you hoping to see from this Xbox showcase?
There's one thing that would make me happy and so ecstatic that if I saw it, I probably wouldn't know how to handle myself, and that's Fable. And if they show any glimpse, even like a 1-minute new cinematic trailer of Fable, oh man, I'd be so happy. That's just worth it for me. The rest of the showcase, I wouldn't even care about. It's just Fable. Just Fable. That's it.
That's fair. I'm looking forward to Fable. I thought 2 and 3 were good. I didn't like them as much as the original, but
I still think the one's my favorite.
I think it'd be, even if they just show off like a teaser of the world. If the camera comes down and they pan on the back of this character and you see him approaching a big city, and it says
that's all we need,
Fable. That's it. I'll happily wait.
Wet the whistle.
Yeah, I'll happily wait after that. I'm hoping. I don't know why, but I'm really hoping. Like at the end of the press event, they say, or it comes across the screen saying Fallout New Vegas 2 now being developed. I would lose my shit. I would literally sit here and lose my shit. It'd be hilarious. Because
they don't.
I know they probably won't, but that's the one game that I'm holding out for. I really want a new Fallout. And it's been so long, man. Like Fallout 4 was what? It's got to be at least 7 years ago. So we are due one. And 76 was just horrendous. And I feel like they owe us a new Fallout.
Well, based on those NVIDIA leaks as well, because that seemed to all be coming true, that everyone said was wrong, but everything on it so far has been right. Does that mean we can hopefully, I know we won't, but PlayStation have got the Final Fantasy VII remaster. Can we get the Xbox Final Fantasy IX remaster exclusive? Because that's better than 7. That's supposedly on that NVIDIA leak, so let's have that. That would be amazing. I would be down for that because 9
I didn't like 9.
Hits me with the feels.
Yeah, I didn't like 9. 10's my favourite out of all of them. 10 was amazing. I can literally sing you the Hymn of the Faith now. I haven't played the game like 10 years.
Please don't.
That was such a game.
I want to play through. I thought about streaming Kingdom Hearts, going through because I've never finished all of. I've played 1 and 3 briefly, but I've never really completed them. So I really want to go through them. So I thought maybe that would be a good thing to stream through 1, 2, and 3 of Kingdom Hearts.
I've never played them. It's one of those where I never got on the bandwagon. I saw like the cool characters.
No, I missed it when it first came out. I bought 3 just because of the Disney characters in it and thought, this is all right. But I better play 1.
The new one looks really good.
1, 2, and onwards. And I like the rhythm game as well. That was quite good. So
Masuko good evening, dude.
I'd like to do that as a stream for sure. But yeah, shout out to Mesuko, Thimber, Pyro, Muppet, all those guys in chat for keeping up the conversation as always. Makes a big difference.
Did you guys see that Unreal 5 demo they put out at that train station?
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah, that looked good.
I thought it was real life. I thought that's no way that's Unreal 5. It looks like real life. I'll tell you what, man, we're in for some stellar games this generation.
Oh, it's amazing. we're at like peak gaming at the moment.
Yeah. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the show, doesn't it? We've got nothing else to really talk about. It's been a bit of a slow news week. If you are watching the show, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Clowns, before we go, I'm going to give you like a few minutes just to let everybody know where they can find you, what you're up to, that sort of stuff. You take it away, buddy.
Yeah, you guys can find me on 4GQTV every Thursday. This Thursday we may skip because I think I have a convention coming up. Other than that, we got some pretty big interviews lined up. One is a famous cosplayer, which I'm very excited to talk to. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Nice. And yeah, you can catch me and Ash here on the Xbox Live Party Podcast channel. I'm usually doing streams, he's usually doing reviews. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Clowns, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, dude. It's been an awesome episode having you here. But yeah, that's the show. So, good evening. I've been your host, ReddersTV, and we'll see you next week for the next episode. Cheers.